So this here is our new Creality Ender 3 version 3 SE 3D printer. Super excited to unbox this and get this set up. We'll show you everything that's inside here. You can see, got the manual here that you'll use to get the system set up. You've got some white filament that it comes with, some tools, so different accessories there. Power cable. It's like the display interface. Then we've got this here. This looks like it holds the spool of filament for the printer. And then once we move that out of the way, we've got the main attraction here, the actual 3D printer. You can see the packaging, nicely packaged with some foam material, keep everything looking good condition. So this here is the gantry frame, and this will insert into the base of the 3D print. And as I'm unpacking some of the hardware to install and get this printer set up, one thing I appreciate is they've got different bags for the different screws, and the bags are each labeled. So here's our M4x10 screws, here's the M3x14s, and then the M5x8 screws. So really helpful. They've got everything labeled nicely. And then here is the base of the printer. You can see you've got the plate here that your work will be created on. And then you got the 3 holes in the slots on each side, and that's what's going to hold the frame together. So we're just going to position that and put the provided screws in to get this assembled. So everything fits together really nice, no issues there. And we'll use the M3x14 screws, 3 on each side, to hold the frame into place. And the kit even comes with little tools here to help you install any of the hardware. And because the 3D printer will be moving up and down, it's important to have the ribbon cable somewhat secured, but also remaining flexible. So there's a little label here that you just insert into the clip on the back side of this. And once you've got the ribbon cable secured, you can go ahead and plug in the little pin connector to the X-axis motor up here. There it is. So down here at the base of the unit, we've got our Z-axis connector that we will go ahead and plug into the motor. Now we're all connected. You can see you've got the Z marking down there. And then if we go back up here, here's the X for the X-axis motor. Everything's labeled very nicely. One pretty cool thing with the printer is it accepts both 230 and 115 voltage, so whatever your supply is that you're plugging into, you'll want to just make sure the switch on the back side of the printer is set to the right setting. Right now we've got it set to 115 volts, and if you wanted, you could take the switch, switch it over, and now this is the 230 volt setting. It's kind of hard to see, but so we're going to go ahead and switch it back so that we're on 115 volt. And so the power cable, it plugs in over on this side of the unit here. And then that allows us to go ahead and plug this into the wall and get this fired up. A little red power switch here to turn it on and off once it is plugged into the wall. But overall, this unit took about 15 minutes to assemble and get it ready for use. So this here is the hotbed for our 3D printer. You can see it's got a 220 by 220 millimeter area, pretty good size. And this will heat up as you're using the printer. And it is just magnetic, very easy to take on and off. There's options if you want a different plate. You can go ahead and purchase a separate one, and it's as simple as lifting up and plopping the new one on to have this ready to go. So here's a view of the underside of the extruder and the nozzle. You can see that nozzle right there, and that's 0.4 millimeter diameter. And what's nice, it also comes with a spare nozzle, so if you do have issues with the original, you can see 0.4 millimeter. You can go ahead and unscrew the old one and pop the new one in. Here's a spool of white filament that was included with the printer. It's a fairly small spool, but should be enough to kind of get started and get things figured out with the printing operation. So you can see the provided filament doesn't actually have a spool for it, but we are able just to put it on the holder here as part of the printer. And then what's recommended is to take the tip of the filament and cut it at a 45-degree angle. Even these little snippers were included with the kit. So I got 45 degrees there. And we're gonna go ahead and just put it back on here. And we're gonna preheat the system and then insert. So then we're gonna insert our filament into the extruder. So I've just plugged the printer in, and you can see the little display over here. It's gonna go through a series of prompts. And there's a little dial that allows you to kind of move between different options and functions. And when you're ready, you just press down on that. So the first thing we're gonna do is look at the leveling. And as it's going through its self-leveling operation, you can see there's just different stages. So after it runs through its leveling process, you can see here we've got a bunch of measurements that are in the green. That indicates that it is adequate from a leveling standpoint. In the event that things were out of level, there's various adjustments that can be made on the printer to actually level the bed. And some of it involves turning some screws at the rods here. But fortunately for us, it came out everything in the green right out of the box, and so I'm gonna go ahead and confirm. Now we're just going through an extrusion process as part of our preparation. And you can see here we've got our filament inserted in there. And you can see it is extruding out here. So just kind of running it through. This is the first time we've had any filament going through the nozzle. So the unit comes with an SD card that we have inserted into the side of our base. We're going to go ahead and do a quick test print. So that card contains a cat on it. Go ahead and get this fired up. You can see down here temperature is rising on the bed, so the system is going to go kind of through its sequence here before it actually starts printing. So here's the initial test piece in progress. See the extruder and the bed, everything's working together really nicely here. So the test print is still going here. And you can see on the display, it's really nice. It tells you what percent you are complete, how much time is remaining. So it's been going for 27 minutes, an hour and 9 minutes left, and you're 24% complete. First print is complete. It took a total of 1 hour and 29 minutes, and so this is the file that it came with and how it turned out. Everything looks really good here. So I'm just gonna snap it off. Now, son has a little kitty cat. Pretty cool.